There we go. Okay. Just give me 1 second to get myself set up here. I didn't want to be late and people think that I wasn't coming. All right. Hello, everyone. Oh, wait. Yep, I am live. Okay, very good. Hello and welcome to the Wednesday Live at 5. I'm using StreamYard again, so don't worry. I think there's in the comments, it says, if you want the presenter to see your comments, you have to register with StreamYard. Click here. You don't have to do that. I have my phone open right next to me so I can see the comments as they come in. And so don't even worry about that. Today, we're talking about healing without feeling deprived. Eat the pizza, drink the coffee, have the wine. Honestly, I don't know how to live without those things. So I wanted to take this time because I think it was coming up strongly for me. Excuse me 1 second. Okay, the more people that I talk to, and ever since Matt Rose Summit, I've been getting a lot of consultations, a lot of new people, and most of them aren't even in the Minding Your Soul group. So I've been talking to these people and they're telling me about the protocols that they've been following that haven't been working. And they're so strict. They're so strict about all of the cups of the fruits and vegetables that they have to be on, and they can't do this and they can't do that. And I asked them, I'm like, all right, well, what do they think the root cause of MS is? You know, if you're telling you to avoid all of these things, like why? And they can't answer that. They can't state, no one else says that the Epstein-Barr virus is the root cause of MS and all autoimmune diseases. So how do we know what do we know to stay away from? That's why when the medical medium came out in 2015 and said, oh, by the way, your MS, it's because of the Epstein-Barr virus, then we had a target. We knew what we were trying to kill. So we knew what we could eat and what we can't eat. So before that, I had been trying to heal myself since 2008. And I was doing pretty good. I would pretty much eliminate anything that anyone said was bad for me, no matter in which way. Whatever was bad for me, I would eliminate it. And that was a really hard way to live. And I kept falling off the wagon and saying, okay, I'm going to start again. And I would heal, but it would be slow. And it took me over 10 years to fully heal, right? So from 2015, when the medical medium said, oh, it's the Epstein-Barr virus, and this is what you do, that took me to about 60% healed to about 100% healed. So people are jumping on and saying hi. Thank you so much. Hello, Quinn. Hello, Erica. Listen, as I'm talking, if you guys have questions, just put them in the comments and I will address them. I'll take breaks and I will address them. Because we're going to be talking about a lot of different foods today and why it is okay to eat them. This topic came up the other day when I posted the event. It was yesterday or Monday. And I posted it because I knew how I was feeling. I was going downhill. Jackson just got over Coxsackie. Awful high fevers for a week, and then you get the white sores. He wasn't sleeping. I wasn't sleeping. And when your tolerance is down like that, let me fix my camera. When your tolerance is down like that, you need all the comforts that you can get your hands on because you're not sleeping. So think about, while we're healing, life is hard. Life is fucking hard, right? We're constantly searching for answers. The doctors aren't giving us answers. We're trying different things. Life is hard. Now that we have a target that we are focusing on, we have to kill the Epstein-Barr virus. Now we know what we can eat and what we can't eat. And I got to tell you, I'm Italian. If there's anyone who could not live deprived, it's me. So I want to give you what happened today, because today, and it was not planned that I was doing this video and I had the day that I had. I slept 8 hours yesterday. I slept 8 hours today, or last night and the night before. I slept 8 hours. He's back to his normal schedule. And I don't know why I'm so freaking tired. I'm so freaking tired. So you know what I did? When he finally went down for a nap today, I got out my box of crackers and I sat there on the couch in front of Netflix. I'm currently watching Madam Secretary, by the way. So good. I sat there and I took each cracker and I took my butter and I put it on the cracker, and then I took my everything bagel seasoning and went like that. Then I took another cracker and I sandwiched it on, and I just sat there and ate mindlessly for the entire hour that he slept. Now, I don't recommend that because I currently look like I'm 6 months pregnant again. My stomach is huge. It doesn't feel good at all. I'm currently nauseous. I considered not doing this live at 5, so I don't recommend that. But I want you to know we need those times sometimes. Like, we need to feed our soul sometimes and just sit there and eat mindlessly. But we have to do it in a way that continues our healing, right? Or at least doesn't stop our healing. So they were gluten-free crackers. They were the dairy-free butter, which begins with, here, I brought it down for you because it's my favorite one. I have no idea how to say that. So this butter is I think it's even better than regular butter. I don't know why I am cutting out. Let me just close down all the other things that I have open, and maybe that will help, because I feel like I'm cutting out every couple of minutes. All right, so, oh yeah, because I have a video up, that might be it, and my email and 1,000 other things open. Okay, hopefully that's better. Okay, so there are going to be times when you don't want to eat fruits and vegetables, and you don't want to eat 97 cups of them right before lunch. And you don't want to do anything but sit down and indulge in front of the TV or outside or whatever your thing is. We have to have the times of comfort. We have to feed our souls, whether that's going on YouTube and filling our brains with something good, or sitting on the couch watching Netflix, just mindlessly eating some garbage, right? Because crackers and butter and everything else that I did, total garbage. But guess what? It doesn't feed the virus. You have to make sure that when you are heading into this, you are set up for the inevitable days when you need to sit and eat shit. Maybe it's ice cream, right? Now, of course, we have to be dairy-free. But guess what? Nowadays, it's so much easier to eat dairy-free ice cream. That brand, So Delicious, I think they called it that because it's so delicious. Everything that they make is so delicious. That ice cream is better than Ben & Jerry's. So I want you to think about this. If you were somebody who is just getting on board with this information and going, oh, okay, MS is a virus and I can kill it with lemon juice, lemon water, celery juice, heavy metal detox smoothie, gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free. How the fuck am I going to do that? I can't do that. I have shit to do in my life. Yeah, I know. That's why it's an evolution. So we're going to go through the foods, but I want you to understand that my coaching program, like all the information that you need to heal, is in this group, right? But then I offer coaching. It's a 4-month program, and it's basically the accountability that the extroverts are looking for. My husband's like, what do you do for the introverts? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I would never want to be on Zoom 3 times a week with anybody. So how are you helping the introverts? I said, oh, well, all the information is in Minding Your Soul and on YouTube, so they can get it there. He's like, no, they need more than that. They need a manual. So I'm currently working on a manual so that for the people who don't want or need the accountability and don't want to be on Zoom 3 times a week, I'm working on a manual that I could just provide you and say, here's everything. But back to overhauling your entire life. So you look at this protocol and you go, holy fuck, I cannot do this. There are so many things in my diet that I'm going to have to change. And there's no way that I can do all of that. Because what about those days where I just need this, right? Or I just need that? Well, guess what? There are tons of days where I just need ice cream. I just need chocolate. Or to sit on the couch watching Netflix while Jackson sleeps, eating crackers with butter smeared all over them, right? You can do it. You can do it. Replace the foods and do it over time. It's an evolution. It's not something to do tomorrow. What you're going to do is when you decide, okay, this is what I want to do, I'm eventually going to be gluten-free. As you go about your day, you don't even have to fill your brain with, okay, what do I need to do first? No. As you go about your day and you're eating your normal meals, you're going to pick something up and you're going to go, oh yeah, I just had this. Okay, so I'm making this for dinner. Oh shit, it has wheat in it. Okay, let me add that to the list. So you add it to the list for the next time that you go grocery shopping, you're going to find a gluten-free version of whatever that is. Little by little, you're going to replace the items that you currently have in your kitchen with gluten-free items. And I can't stress this enough. You have to do your comfort foods first because motivation runs out. You're going to have this time where you go, you know what? I'm going to heal. I'm sick of being sick. I'm going to heal. I'm going to do it. Everything that freaking chick on Facebook is saying, I'm going to do it. Great. Awesome. Right? And you get started and you're all gung-ho and then fucking life takes over. and you're busy and your husband pisses you off and your kids do something stupid, the house is a mess, you don't have time to clean it, right? And then you have the oh fuck it mode, and you're like, you know what, fuck it, and you sit in front of the TV and you're like, I just need comfort. Those are the moments that you have to be prepared for, and you have to be real with yourself that they're inevitable. They're going to happen. Just like anyone who's quitting something, let's say cigarettes or alcohol, you have to first prepare for what you're going to do, how you're going to handle when you absolutely need a cigarette, when you absolutely need that drink. What are you going to do? What is your plan? That's what this is like. The gluten-free, the dairy-free, the egg-free. It's a slow evolution. You replace a couple things a week when you go to the grocery store, but you first prepare by replacing your comfort foods with a gluten-free version, dairy-free version, and an egg-free version. Now, I said in the event for this, I said, you know what? Give me anything that you want to replace or any of your comfort foods, and I will give you the gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free substitution, because I feel like I have a hack for everything that you want. We can make it healthy. Even coffee. We're going to talk about coffee next, because there's a way to drink coffee so that it is good for you. Or it is good for you, right? All those antioxidants in there. We're going to talk about that in a second. So I just want to say, if you have anything in the comments, if you have anything that you're struggling with and you're like, oh yeah, give me a good substitution for this. Now with that comes a disclaimer. I can't substitute cheese. I mean, there's some good alternatives out there, but there's nothing like a block of real cheddar cheese or a wet ball of mozzarella. There's no substitutions for that. This brand, this brand that makes the butter, they're making great cheeses, right? And the wet mozzarella, I was so excited about because it was wet and it looked really good. And I tasted it plain. I was like, oh my God, that does not taste like cheese at all. But then I shredded it, right? And I added it to the gluten-free pizza crust, right? With the sauce and everything. And I coated it in the garlic powder and the oregano. And then when it came out, I put the fresh basil on it. It's got the texture, and you're covering up the flavor, the lack of the mozzarella flavor, with the spices. And that's what's going to get you through. You're going to be like, oh my God, I'm actually tricking my mouth and my brain to think that I'm eating pizza, because you're really just getting the consistency, the texture in your mouth. The flavor you can cover up with garlic, basil, all the different spices, right? So that's a good hack for pizza if you want your traditional tomato sauce and cheese pizza. They have great cheeses out there, but you got to test them to find a good one. This one I found at Whole Foods. It's awesome. So the other thing that I want to say about pizza is that if you buy your pizza crust, and Banza, Banza is a great brand. If you buy the Banza crust, keep it in your freezer. Think outside the box. Get a little creative with your pizzas. You don't always have to do sauce and cheese. You could do something like I do often, the artichokes, sun-dried tomatoes, stick it in the oven. I actually chop up little bits and pieces of tofu, right? And I coat them in olive oil and garlic, like fresh garlic. And I throw that in the oven. I get that all broily, all toasty and nice, right? When that comes out, that's when I take the balsamic glaze and I go like this over the pizza, and then I sprinkle it with fresh basil. That is an amazing pizza. It's amazing. No, it's not sauce and cheese. There's no sauce or cheese on there. It's freaking delicious, and it's got that bite, right, that you really need. It's all warm and toasty. There is a way to do it. So if you're struggling with anything, either put it in the comments. If you're watching the replay, you could still put it in the comments. Put it in the group. Me and so many other people in the Minding Your Soul group have been doing this for so long. I mean, we've been doing it since the days where there were no gluten-free foods, right? Like 14, she's 16 now. So 14 years ago, eating gluten-free meant you were eating chicken, fish, meat, fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. That's it. That's what gluten-free meant. Today, it's so much easier. However, being gluten-free, dairy-free, and egg-free does not mean it's healthy. Not at all. That's why, before we get to my list, and I will talk about coffee in just a second, that's why I wanted to let you know, now that we have a target, now that we know what we're killing, right? The Epstein-Barr virus, we know what we can eat and what we can't eat. So let's say you're having something really processed, right? It has a whole boatload of shitty ingredients, but not one of those ingredients is dairy-free, egg-free, or not one of those ingredients has gluten, dairy, or eggs, right? So What kind of food is that? To me, I call that's a neutral food. It's not going to heal you. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to do anything. It might bloat the shit out of you like the crackers did to me today, right? I'm still bloated. I'm supposed to go out with my mother later on, and I'm like, what the hell am I going to wear? I can't fit anything over my stomach. They're very inflammatory foods, and you don't want to eat them all the time. You want to, sprinkle them in your diet when you need them. Like I did. I needed a box of crackers today. So you want to put your food, first you put it into two categories. Does this feed the virus? Does it not feed the virus? Okay. Foods that feed the virus, obviously, gluten, dairy, eggs, chuck them. Go get your replacements. Now, foods that don't feed the virus, you want to put them into three categories. And I do yellow, green, yellow, red, right? So the green is going to be your fruits and vegetables. They're going to be super healing, good grains like quinoa. Then you're going to do the yellow foods, like what I did today, like the processed crackers. They're shit, but they're not going to feed the virus. They're gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free, highly processed, highly inflammatory. You don't do them often, but sometimes you need them. Those are the yellow ones. The red ones are the ones you really do want to stay away from, even though they don't feed the virus. If you have it accidentally, you don't have to worry about it. Except there's other reasons why you have to worry about it, but like the rancid oils, the artificial sweeteners, the artificial colors, anything hydrogenated, like the shit that you need to stay away from. It doesn't feed the virus, but it's going to flame the shit out of your body, and it's going to cause a whole host of other problems, like the sucralose, the artificial sweetener sucralose, usually under the name Splenda, causes black holes in the brain, literally black holes in the brain where the signals don't get through. And, what are we trying to do here when we're curing MS? We're trying to get the signals to go through. So what I want to do, I was going to check the comments, make sure I'm not missing any questions. And then we're going to talk about coffee and we're going to talk about wine too, because I think those are the ones where people are like, can I do it? Can I not do it? Is there a way to do it that's much healthier for me? Yes, there absolutely is. I would never tell anyone to stay away from coffee or wine. That's just friggin' mean. I would never do that. The protocol that we follow in this group is very gentle. It's very nice, and it's very effective because we're targeting the exact thing that is causing our symptoms. We know exactly what it is, so we can see it and we can kill it. We starve it. We kill it with our immune system, and then we detox it out of our bodies. And sometimes while we're doing that, we eat a goddamn box of crackers and a gluten-free pizza with a glass of wine, and then we wake up in the morning and we have a cup of coffee. But you do know that you have to do the lemon water and the celery juice first, right? However, I always take Sundays off. Me and my husband, especially in the winter, in the summer, we get up and we walk to the diner. I don't even drink water. I get up, I walk to the diner, and I order my coffee. And we just sit there and we drink our coffee. And of course, we have a little thing of creamer, right, that I bring with us. So you take it out of the purse. I put my creamer on the table. They bring the coffee. You got to take those days. You got to take days off. And I just did a video about peaks and valleys. When you go through your peaks and valleys, you have to take breaks, right? You really have to take breaks. That's what's going to accelerate your healing. I know that sounds crazy, but when you slow down, right, and take a break from all the stuff that we're doing, you actually accelerate your healing. Do I mean take a break with the gluten-free, dairy-free, and egg-free? Absolutely not. Never do that. Never do that. Find your substitutions. But the lemon water and the celery juice, yeah, sometimes you really got to take a break. And the heavy metal detox smoothie, you don't want to do that 7 days a week. It's too much. Okay, let me check the comments and make sure that I'm not doing anything. Hello, Quinn. How are you doing? Mary's on. All right, very cool. Kalpa, how are you doing? Hi, Janine. Some protocols. Day to avoid fruits. Oh, say to avoid fruits and carbs because they say carbs feed parasites. All right, listen, parasites are not what's causing the MS. Parasites aren't causing it. It's the virus that's causing it. Now, what kind of carbs are we talking about? Because there are carbs in all fruits and vegetables, and those are the healthy carbs. Are you talking about like bread and pizza and everything else? How do you know you have the parasites? Doesn't everybody have parasites? Doesn't everyone on this earth have parasites? And why are they so popular now to get rid of them, right? When it's the virus that's causing all of the autoimmune diseases, maybe after we heal the virus, maybe then go look into parasites. I don't know. I never did that. I feel like everyone has parasites. And when you eat to bring your body back into balance and you drink the lemon water and the celery juice, which celery juice kills everything and gets everything that's not supposed to be there and removes what's not supposed to be in your body, I feel like you're creating an environment that the parasites can't live in, and they do eventually come out. We've had some comments in the group about drinking celery juice and what came out in the toilet. So Don't feed the virus. We're trying to heal MS here. MS is caused by the Epstein-Barr virus. We don't want to feed the virus because in order to kill the virus, we have to first starve it, take away its food source, take our immune system, build it up as much as possible, contrary to what they tell us, so that our immune system can attack it and then flush it out of our body with the detox. So when we're starving the virus, we're actually preventing the virus from releasing that smoke screen. That's why it's so important to starve that virus, because it only has a 6-week lifespan. That's it. But in those 6 weeks, it keeps duplicating and replicating and traveling all throughout our bodies. So it's going to take us a while to kill the whole thing. So we got to start weakening it right away by taking away its food source. By taking away its food source and building up our immune system so that it doesn't release the smoke screen, our immune system goes, I gotcha, fucker, I can see ya. And then it kills it, and then we detox it out of our bodies. By doing those things, you are bringing your body back into balance so that it can do the things that it needs to do, like remove parasites on its own, because that's what it was designed to do. It absolutely can do that. I feel like some of those parasite removal protocols might be a little rough for our bodies. Let's say we heal first and then go see what other things that you want to do. That's what I want to say about parasites. But Kalpa, that was a good point to bring up. Thank you for bringing that up. Suzanne is watching. Hello. Tracy, Dawn, Keisha, hi. Good evening, everyone. I love her. Stephanie, how are you doing? Natalie's on. Okay, no questions. Kalpa, aw, thanks. You're awesome for giving so much info. It's great. I'm glad to know about eating comfort every day. Exactly. I used to be strict, but it's hard and I ran out of motivation. Kalpa, that's perfectly put. When you start something, right? I see it in my group all the time. It's a 4-month program, right? And they come out of the gate and they're like, oh, I am so motivated and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it all perfectly, right? And they start and they start and they start. And then I watch them. The motivation runs out. And then I'm like, okay, hold on. Here we go. We need to take it easy. We need those comfort foods. Now, that's somebody in your ear going, you need to do this. We have to be kind to ourselves and give ourselves grace and understand that whatever the hell you're seeing on TikTok and Instagram, everyone's putting their best foot forward when they're on social media. And you, myself included. Do you know that I only look like this once a week for the Live at Fives? You should see what I look like on some of the coaching calls, because that's every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Hair's back, sweats are on. Maybe I showered that day. Maybe I did. I probably didn't. I shower like twice a week. I put the hair up, maybe take a rinse off. But listen, we're all living our lives and we're doing the best that we can. And sometimes we just don't have it in us. And every time we start something new, the motivation is going to run out. You're going to lose all of those endorphins that you got from being your own cheerleader. So you have to set yourself up for the inevitable times where you just go, fuck it, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. Now, in order to prevent the fuck it, I'm done, I just can't do this anymore. In order to prevent that, you got to give yourself a freaking break and have the ice cream at night. Have the wine at night. I told you we're going to talk about coffee and wine. I don't know why I keep it keeps pausing. I'm really sorry. I don't know. I guess it's my internet. But if you want, when I download this and put this on YouTube, Minding Your Soul has a YouTube channel. When I download it, there's never any skips. So if it's getting annoying for you, it will be on YouTube later tonight. Actually, not later tonight, tomorrow, because my mother is going to a concert in the park and she's forcing me to go. So that's where I'll be tonight. All right. So coffee. A lot of people ask, is coffee good for me? No, coffee's not good for you, but we can make it good for you, right? Coffee as you normally see it, if it's not organic, if you're going to anywhere, really, getting your coffee, a coffee shop, whether it's the store, if it's not organic, no, it's awful for you. Why? But we're going to make it healthy. So don't worry. Don't sign off and be like, well, screw her, I'm drinking my coffee. Absolutely drink your coffee. I will tell you how to do it so that it is good for you and it's not a toxic soup of sludge that you're putting inside your body every single day. So in order to understand the why, we're just going to talk about the liver for like 2 minutes. And you've probably heard me say this before. And if you haven't, 2 minutes. So the liver wakes up before you do. The liver does most of its work at night, right? Because it doesn't want you. I'm sorry. I don't know why the F-bombs are flying so hard today. It doesn't want you fucking things up by eating. Okay. It's just the mood that I'm in today. So your liver wakes up around 3 o'clock in the morning for most people, and it gets to work while you're still sleeping, right? So you're not going to put anything inside your body that's going to mess up this process. Kind of like when you clean the house when the kids are sleeping or out of the house. So that's exactly what your liver needs to do. It needs to clean house. it starts pulling all the toxins, all the shit out of your bloodstream, out of your organs, all the other organs. It's pulling, it's working, it's working. When you wake up, you pee, right? Your first morning pee, everyone knows, is the darkest. It's the darkest because it has the most toxins in it. It has most everything in it. That's why pregnancy tests, drug tests, everything. They want your first morning urine because that's going to be the most concentrated. Why? Because your liver just did all that work to pull everything out. The reason we start with the lemon water first thing in the morning is because your body can only use the water that it has currently in it to push out all of those toxins that it just pulled out of your bloodstream. When you drink the lemon water, it has all of this available water to push out so many more of the toxins that it just pulled out. If you don't drink that lemon water, the toxins that weren't able to be pushed out with the urine have to get reabsorbed. And then the liver starts over the next night and it starts pulling everything out. And if you don't drink the lemon water, not very many toxins get released, because how many of us are fully hydrated the way we should be? Not a lot, right? So then they have to get those toxins that don't get pushed out with the morning urine, they have to get reabsorbed again. And then the liver has to start over the next day. It's like having a cleaning person come every single day, but every day after the cleaning person leaves, you mess up the house, right? And let's say she can only stay for 30 minutes a day. She stays for 30 minutes a day and you're messing things up as soon as she leaves. Every time she comes in, the only thing she's going to be able to do is, do the counters, fill the dishwasher, maybe run a load of laundry. She's not really going to make a dent in the house. Now, say cleaning person comes 30 minutes a day, right? And you maintain what she did, plus do a little bit more around the house. And the next day she comes over and she's like, great, counters are already clean, dishes are done, laundry's done. You know what? Let me get over to the bathroom. Let me start scrubbing the bathroom floor or the tub or the closets. Let me go in there. She can do more and more because you're helping, you're maintaining and doing a little bit extra. That's how you need to think about your liver. Your liver is doing all this work at night to push out the toxins. And when I talk about pushing out the toxins, these are the things that are making us sick. The heavy metals in our body, all the shit in our body that our immune system has to deal with. Imagine if that could get completely flushed out, the work that our immune system can do. As we are killing the virus, think about this too. As we're killing the virus, the dead corpse, the corpse of the virus, is a neurotoxin that is going to cause us more symptoms. So you're killing the virus, you're starving it, your immune system is killing it. Now you've got this corpse, you got to detox out. Your liver is helping you to do that. But if you don't help your liver by drinking that water and pushing so much more out, the liver can't get ahead. And then you get overwhelmed with the die-off. The corpse is called the die-off. So the die-off is now overwhelming your blood, which is passing the blood-brain barrier, getting into your brain, causing brain fog, all this numbness. And you go, oh my God, I'm not healing. You are healing. You just got to get that corpse out of your body. So back to your liver. Your liver does all this work at night, right? Pulling everything out. Now, let's jump over to the coffee. So the coffee crop is a very sensitive crop. It's a very thin leaf, and they have to grow a shit ton of it because a shit ton of us like coffee and we need to live on it, right? So the coffee crop is the most heavily covered crop with pesticides. Most heavily, because it's so sensitive, because we grow so much of it, it is so toxic with those pesticides on it. So the coffee crop sprayed with pesticides, they harvest the beans, they take the beans to the processor. What do? They roast them, right? They got to roast them quick because they got to get that processing done and out to everybody else who needs the coffee. So they roast it very high temperatures, very quickly. Right? So now you've got this toxic chemical filled roasted. It's now rancid. It's now acidic. We buy it. It sits on the shelves, the store shelves for, I don't know, weeks, months, however long. And then we buy it. What do? We pour boiling water over it. Coffee is so toxic and so awful for you. However, if you buy organic coffee, they don't use the pesticides. They grow the crop in the shade, right? I don't know why, because organic is grown in the shade. But you'll sometimes see on the label, grown in these small batches, low acid. The reason why it's low acid is because they're not spraying it with chemicals, and the roasting process is completely different. The roasting process, they take a lot longer, and it's at a much lower temperature, so it doesn't get burnt, right? So it's not so rancid and so toxic. So, I mean, if you want to get crazy and use a French press, that's even better. And I used to do that, but I'm not doing that with the baby now. I have a Keurig, and I have a really shitty Keurig because I'm constantly chewing on coffee grinds. I got to get a new one. So, think about it. When you drink, let's say you're drinking regular coffee. So I just told you what the liver does every single night, right? Works so hard to get it out. And let's say you don't drink the water when you first wake up. So your liver's like, oh, I just worked so hard to pull all this stuff out and I barely have any water to push it out. Okay, fine. I'll just reabsorb everything and I'll start over tomorrow. So it reabsorbs everything, right? Up, she's up. Okay, great. Now she's up and great. Oh my God, we've got an onslaught of more chemicals from all the coffee. So the coffee is just the sludge of pesticides and acidic water that we're now putting inside of our bodies, and our liver's like, fuck, how many more toxins are you going to give me to release? And you wonder why we're so tired all the time and we're so sluggish and we're not healing. It all comes down to getting the shit out of the liver so that the immune system has the liver can process a lot more for us. The immune system can do what it needs to do. So long story short, I'm sorry, never mind. It was already a long story. If you're going to drink coffee, and I drink a lot of it. I drink way too much of it. I need to get off of it again. Drink organic coffee. Drink organic coffee and find a really good dairy-free creamer, oat milk, make your own, whatever. There's so many good ones out there. Maple syrup, amazing. Do a blind test. Put maple syrup in your coffee, in your black coffee. No creamer, just the maple syrup. Give it to someone and say, does this have creamer in it? And they're going to say, yes, it does. Because if you don't know you're drinking black coffee with just maple syrup, it actually tastes like creamer. It's amazing. Do I do that all the time? No, I have like an Oatly thing. I have like oat milk or whatever because my daughter likes it. So, and maple syrup is really expensive. And we use a ton of it around here. But anyway, that's coffee. Now, did I miss anything? Well, oh, okay. Yeah, we're going to talk about cheese in a second. Okay, so that's the coffee. The wine, real quick, just make sure it's organic wine for the very same reasons, but also organic wine. They don't add the sulfates to it. So what do I drink? I drink Frey, Frey, organic wine. It is $9.99, or sometimes it's $14.99, depending if I get the table red or the Cabernet. I like a red wine. So get yourself some good organic wine. And listen, even if you don't have MS, get yourself some good organic wine because there's no headache the next day. Don't drink too much. And I also wanted to say this. Do you know when sometimes you have a sip of wine and you're like, ooh, it tastes bitter. I wonder why. I love this wine. I drink this all the time. And then other times you take a sip of wine and you're like, oh my God, this is delicious. It tastes like grape juice. You know why that is? It could be the same wine. If you are very acidic, the shit that you ate that day, maybe a box of crackers, if you go for the wine, your body is telling you you're too acidic. You cannot afford to be even more acidic. You need to alkaline a little bit, so go drink some water. Your body is always going to tell you. So when you take that first sip of wine and it kind of like hits you like, oh, it's not as delicious as it usually is, listen to your body. Don't drink it. Don't just take a couple more sips until your mouth is numb and then you don't go oh anymore. So listen to yourself. Listen to your body and what it's telling you, because if you're too acidic, that wine is really going to put you over the edge and create an environment that's really happy for viruses. So you want to keep your body in a healthy state and kind of just like sprinkle these things on, like the wine and the pizza and the box of crackers and all those other things. Sprinkle them in, use them or eat them when you need them. Coffee, I don't know what to tell you. You want to get off coffee? I have absolutely no advice for you. I did it while I was pregnant and breastfeeding, and now I'm back on coffee. And you know how it is once you get back on coffee. I'm up to like 3 friggin' cups a day. I got to get off of it. And I will. Just not yet, just not today. So, all right, let's go to the questions and see. Did I talk about everything? Yeah, the protocols. Okay, I think I did. And Kalpa, thank you for the compliment. Thank you very much. Natalie says, good morning. Is sourdough bread or good bread in general gluten-free? No, sourdough is not gluten-free. Anything that says wheat or semolina or rye or barley, just... I think it's in the files section. Go into the files section of Minding Your Soul. There is, what did I call it? 5 steps to going gluten-free. And I think that first page, it lists out the different names that gluten goes by. So go into the files section, but no, sourdough is not. Like good bread, like even like sprouted Ezekiel bread, it's not gluten-free. Read the ingredients. Anytime that you see wheat, semolina, barley, rye, triticale. I don't know what that is. I've never seen it. But those are grains that have gluten in them. So you're going to see breads that are made with all different kinds of grains, and you have to know the difference, what has gluten in it and what doesn't. So you know what? Just go to the files section, open up that guide. I've made it really easy for you to just follow down, or just Google it. Just Google it, or download that app they were talking about in the coaching group yesterday, Yucca, YUCA. My daughter has it. And you put in what you can't eat, and then you just scan it. Like you'll take a product and you just scan it with your phone, and it will pop up and it'll be like, nope, it has gluten in it. So there are ways to do it, but no, not sourdough. Sourdough is delicious. I'm not going to lie. It's absolutely delicious, but I haven't had it in 14 years. And I don't think I've ever had a good gluten-free sourdough. I don't think it exists. But a little tip on gluten-free bread: toast it, always toast it, always toast it. And if you can, depending on how you're eating it, add a little butter to it. Again, favorite butter, add a little butter, and it can be really delicious. Stephanie says, I wish I could eat all of the alternatives, but every time I do, my healing slows significantly or I flare. Hopefully that changes as I heal. Absolutely, Stephanie, that is a great point. So popcorn, very inflammatory. It's gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free, right? Sounds like it would be a really good alternative. No, corn is very inflammatory. When I first started healing, I couldn't eat corn. Why? Because it inflamed the shit out of me, because I felt like shit the next day. I was bloated as hell, similar to the cracker situation, right? So I would eat popcorn maybe once a month because I kept testing because I wanted to eat it. Today, I can eat popcorn. I still don't eat it very often because I know corn's not good for you, but I can eat it and I don't get any symptoms. So yes, it's all trial and error. Unfortunately, we have to be our own guinea pigs to see what affects us and how. And by the way, guys, Stephanie Weiland, she does this great elimination diet. So if you're looking to eliminate things and you don't know how to get started, she breaks it down and makes it really easy. So she posts in the group sometimes, but just click on her profile and get the information if you want instructions and to do it in a group, because eliminating stuff, that's how I got started, to find out that, oh, gluten is my trigger. I didn't know why at the time. But Stephanie can walk you through it if that's something that you're looking for. So Stephanie, thank you for posting that. Kalpa says, thanks for the clarification. You're very welcome. Thank you for asking the question. Patty says, how do you know it's 6 weeks to kill the virus? Great question, because of these books right here. The Medical Medium released this information in 2015, and he teaches us all about the Epstein-Barr virus. I feel like I intuitively knew that my body wasn't attacking itself, but no one ever agreed with me. Every time I went to the doctor, I'm like, well, what about this? And what about that? Everyone thought I was crazy. When the Medical Medium came out with this book and he said, it's the Epstein-Barr virus and this is how you kill it. And he teaches you all about the virus and how long the life cycle is and how it replicates and how it puts out a smoke screen to fool your immune system. So your immune system goes, I can see you, fucker, but I know you're there, but I can't kill you because I can't see you, right? So your immune system is constantly looking, constantly fighting, which is why we're exhausted all the time. We start starving it. That smoke screen cannot be put out anymore. So our immune system can go, I gotcha. And it can kill it. And we detox it out of our bodies. So that's how I know it's the old Medical Medium information. And it's all in his book. So what I did was, like a crazy person, I would just read and read and reread and reread all of his books. I have a couple of the hard copy, and then I got smart and I got them on the Kindle so I can read them wherever I was. But yeah, all this is Medical Medium information, and it's amazing how simple it is to kill the virus. You just have to stay consistent, and you have to know a couple things, which is why in my program, which by the way, I'm opening up enrollment in October. Yes, it's been confirmed, but I'll post that. I just got to put it up on the website, and I haven't done that yet, but it is confirmed. October 3rd will be the date. In the program, we go month by month by month doing one thing at a time. I mean, we spend an entire month on lemon water and celery juice and kind of mitigating the side effects, when to stop, when to keep going. And then we go over to the heavy metal detox smoothie. This isn't something you can be like, oh, it's a virus, let me kill it. It really has to be a targeted and calculated attack. But again, you don't need the coaching. All of this information is in the group. I will never hold healing information hostage and charge you for it. The only thing I'll charge you for is the accountability that I'll hold you to, and the program that addresses the body, the mind, and the soul, like my husband says, for the extroverts out there who want to do it with a group. Quinn says, I've seen a YouTube of a young farmer that talked about organic and inorganic produce, saying, oh, I lost you. Hold on. Saying that organic produce is just not treated with the conventionally known pesticides. I'll share the video. Oh, perfect. Yeah, please share that video. Anything that's going to help us heal and understand why we do the things that we do, please put it in the group, because you never know what piece of the puzzle somebody needs, and that's going to catch their attention, and then that's going to complete their puzzle for healing. So please, yeah, Quinn, thank you. Post that in the group. Oh, you know what? I can't see it on my phone, but somebody I can see on my computer. I'm using StreamYard, so I can't see it. Just as Facebook user. Somebody said, "Love this idea for the taste of wine." Right? I never understood why when sometimes I would taste wine, I'd go like, "Ugh, like." What's wrong with the wine? It's not the wine, it's my body. And then other times I would go, oh, this is delicious. It tastes like grape juice. Like, why is that? Because sometimes I'm really acidic and my body doesn't want the wine. And then sometimes I'm in a really good alkaline, not all alkaline, but where we should be, in a more alkaline state. My body's like, absolutely, have the wine. You can totally handle that. We've got some room to play here. Listen to your body. It's always telling you what it needs. It's always telling you what it doesn't want, what it doesn't need. I think there was more comments in here. Oh, Natalie says, because I have to pee two times at times, will my body void through morning pee? Oh, you mean you're peeing in the night? Yes, absolutely. So even though 2 times at night, I think you meant. So that's a common question, actually. Yes, even though you're peeing at night, you're getting up to pee. It's not like your liver is like holding everything in until you go to the bathroom just that one time. So as it's pulling it out and it's doing its work, you have to pee. That's great. It means that you've got some hydration in you. It's got some water in you to push out those toxins. So you're going to push out some toxins when you go to the bathroom throughout the night. And then when you wake up and you drink the lemon water, you're going to push out even more toxins. Now, keep in mind that lemon is really important. And it's not just so that the water tastes better. I used to think that. I'm like, I'm not fancy. I don't need the lemon. It's not to be fancy. For me, I always thought like people were just trying to be pretentious by putting lemon in their water. So just so you know, the lemon actually brings the water back to life so that it can get absorbed through this tunnel and into your organs, because we don't drink out of rivers and streams anymore. There's no live enzymes in our water. It's not alive. It's dead. It's filtered. It's dead. So when we add the lemon or the limes work exactly the same way. But when we would add that into our water, it brings the water back to life so that the water can actually penetrate this tube that you got going on here all the way out to the other end. It penetrates the tube and it allows that hydration to get into your organs, into your body, where your body can really utilize it. You're going to feel a huge difference, even if you do nothing else but add lemon to your water, and add it all day long. Don't do it just in the morning. Do your 16 ounces in the morning. I have like the 16 ounce red cup, right? So that's my measuring. I put the red cup, I put the lemon in, but then I keep squeezing the lemon in a little glass jar. First, I fill this up, add the lemon. Half a lemon in this is fine. And then I make extra lemon juice, so I only have to squeeze lemons once. I put it in a little glass jar. I don't even stick a lid on it. I stick it in the refrigerator. Throughout the day, when I'm refilling this, I go in the fridge, I get the Brita, I pour this in, I get the lemon, I stick it in, done, lemon. If you had to squeeze lemons throughout the entire day, who the hell has time for that? These little hacks, right, to make life simple and to make it a lot easier to do what we need to do, because we can't, we don't have the luxury of doing nothing else but healing. Who has that luxury? If you do, that's awesome. But a lot of us, I think, have so many other responsibilities in life, and that there's just no time to devote to our healing. So when you do carve out that time, you want to make it as efficient as possible. So that's why I try to give you all the hacks that I know about and encourage other people to post their hacks so that we can make it as efficient, so that it is going to keep our healing going. And that's also another reason why I give you the permission, right? Because I know I needed the permission from the medical medium. You need permission to take care of yourself and to put yourself first. and to allow yourself to sit on the couch and watch Netflix and eat a box of friggin' crackers or whatever you want, a whole friggin' pizza. You got to do what you got to do to survive. And sometimes it's the food that's going to bring us the comfort. Sometimes, all the time for me, food is comfort. So in order to heal, I knew I had to change the way that I was eating, but I also knew that I wasn't going to be able to continue it if I felt deprived. You can't do anything if you feel deprived. You can do it for a certain amount of time, but we have to live like this for the rest of our lives. This is how we have to live. And it gets easier to the point where we forget. Well, me and my daughter, my husband eats like an animal. And I'm not just saying because he eats meat. We eat meat too. He's like an animal. He eats everything, right? He'll get a sandwich from Wawa. He'll get a donut. He's got a great body. I'll give him that. He does go to the gym all the time, but he eats like shit. So, well, I guess the other people eat more like shit, but he does eat like shit. But I just want to let you know, he had COVID twice. Julie and I, who eat this way, the way I talk about, we didn't get COVID. So we live in the same house. He got COVID twice. We didn't get it. So I think it's because we have created an environment in our body that viruses can't survive. And it started with trying to kill the Epstein-Barr virus and maintaining an environment that viruses cannot live in. So therefore, when I did come in contact with COVID, it entered my body, and I drank celery juice twice a day as soon as I found out that he was tested positive. And I didn't get it. I didn't even get one symptom. In fact, if you watch, I think it was the workshop that I did in August, you will see like this background, I got started, right? The Wednesday during that workshop, he goes, I have COVID, we have to quarantine. I'm like, oh my God. So I had to move into our spare room, which was my daughter's classroom because it was during COVID. And so you'll see the background change, and I talked about it a lot. But yeah, no, I didn't get it. So living like this for the rest of your life, right now, if you haven't already made these changes, might seem daunting. Like, Janine, there's no way I can do this. Listen, if I can do it, anyone can do it. I'm telling you, I have a hack for everything because I want my comfort, I want my food, and I want to sit and eat mindlessly sometimes because sometimes that's the only thing that's going to make me feel better. What did somebody just say? Facebook user, what's that app called again? Yucca, Y-U-C-A. Oh, great app. Scan it. You put the things in that you can't eat, and it will tell you yes or no, and it will also tell you why. We were just talking about it in the coaching group yesterday. Martha asks, are nuts okay? Absolutely. Try to get them organic. I know they're expensive as hell, but shouldn't be eating too many nuts anyway because they're really hard to digest, right? Peanuts, try not to eat peanuts. I mean, if you have to eat peanuts, don't eat them often. They're really toxic. They're the way they're grown, the way they're produced, they're really toxic. Nuts in themselves are pretty good for you, not peanuts. Peanuts is a completely different thing. But nuts like cashews and walnuts, yeah, they're good for you. For me, I don't have any self-control when it comes to nuts, and I eat way too many, and then I'm backed up for like 3 days, and I'm bloated, and my husband's like, how did you find the nuts? I hid them from you. He has to hide the nuts from me. So yeah, nuts are gluten-free. They're very good. They are grown with a lot of chemicals, so try to get organic, and I do buy organic because I don't eat a lot of them because I can't, because when I do, I eat way too many. I get backed up for a couple days, and it's bad. It's really bad. But yeah, you could totally eat them. They're fine. Arden says, plus all these breads contain eggs. Yeah, exactly. It's really hard to find an egg-free bread. So if you find a good one, please post it in the group. That's what this group is all about, right? Like posting little pieces of the puzzle that, you might find easy, right? Oh, and this is a no-brainer. Post it in the group so that somebody else who didn't know about that is like, oh my God, that's great. I've been looking for that alternative. So Arden, yes, you got to make sure that it doesn't have egg in it. Dawn. Oh, hello, Dawn. Janine, this is my first time on my live. Really? That's awesome. Well, thanks for being here. This is my first time on your live while it was live. Oh, okay, while it was live. You've seen them before. You were something amazing. Really? Thank you. I really appreciate that. But honestly, I just come on here, right? Thank you for saying that because I don't feel like I feel like I just come on here. I'm like, all right, it is what it is. Let's just have a conversation today because I ate so many crackers before and I feel so awful. So I'm really appreciative for that compliment. I can see why she says I can see why we refer to you as Queen. Please don't. I love that Quinn does that, but it feels really weird to me when people are like, hey, Queen. I'm like, yeah, no, listen, we're all we're all just trying to heal here. We're all just trying to do a good thing. So, no, don't, please. But thank you for saying that you are God's son. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. And I do appreciate the comments very much. I really do. I just really hope that something that I says resonates with you. And as much as I know that everyone appreciates the information, I want you to know that it's not completely selfless. This is part of my healing. I needed this. I needed this when I was healing. When I was laying in that bed staring at the ceiling, or when my husband was carrying me to the bathroom and then using the toilet paper for me because I couldn't do that, something inside you breaks, and your heart breaks for the other people. Your heart breaks for the other people that are going through it. Right? So then think about it. You get to the other side of healing. You finally do it. It takes you 10 fucking years, but you finally do it. You get to the other side of healing and you're like, oh my God, I'm living independently. I have my arms. I have my legs. I can do this. And then you remember, because you see it in the groups, you see it online, there are people who are still living the way you did. I needed somebody. I prayed so hard for somebody to just say, hey, Janine, listen, don't worry. It's going to be okay. You can heal. You can get your life back. And here's how you do it. I prayed so freaking hard for that. I never got it. And I think the reason why I never got it is because I needed it. I needed to need it bad enough so that I could become it for myself and that I could become it for other people. It's still, I know it shouldn't, right? I know it shouldn't. I could finally, I shouldn't bring a lump in my throat. I can now talk about my daughter falling and what happened and how that situation led to all of my healing. But it breaks my heart, and it still puts a lump in my throat when I think about all the people who are in that place that I was, that are just laying there and they can't get up. So it's not completely selfless. I do this a lot for me. I do it a lot for my healing. I have to tell people about this. I have to tell people this way. Listen, you don't have to do anything about it, but at least I know I gave you the information. At least I know I gave you the solution, which again is why I will never charge for this information. I sent an email out the other day. If you're not on the email and you want to be, just let me know. Send it to me somehow. I sent out an email and I was like, listen, everyone has told me, stop giving away all the information for free. Like business people, right? They're like, you're never going to make a living if you give it all away for free. I'm like, fuck yeah, I am. I absolutely am. I will never charge for this information. I'll charge for the coaching. I'll charge for the accountability, but you can absolutely find everything that you need in these groups, because there was no way that I could afford coaching. There was no way that I could afford anything. My husband was supporting us, and I was getting sicker and sicker, and everything was getting more expensive. And my beta sarin was $1,000 a month. That insurance did not cover the whole thing. So I'll get off the rants, but I just want you to know that I get it. I know you appreciate this information, because I know how I would have felt if somebody was online going, it's okay. You're going to heal. You're not going to live like this forever. You will be independent again. You will feel that freedom again. And here's how you do it. So yes, I do it for you, but I also do it for my own healing too. It does feel really good. Oh, hey, Ginger, you're on here. Erica, no peanuts. Yeah, Erica, no peanuts. I mean, you can. They're not going to kill you. They're not going to feed the virus, but they're just so damn toxic. We've switched over. Well, me and my daughter did. My husband still does the peanut butter, but me and my daughter just switched over to almond butter, which we find now we prefer the almond butter over peanut butter. And I never thought that was going to be a thing. I never thought that was possible. Hey, Mary, how are you? Oh, Mary Jean says she loves nuts too. Do you love them as much as I do? Do you make yourself sick and bloated for days because you couldn't stop yourself? Yeah, that's me. I try now eating them with like walnuts and raisins, because it's good for you. It's not the same thing. I just want to eat like gallons and gallons, like they sell at Costco, of the cashews, the roasted, salted, really good. Yeah, don't do that. It hurts. All right. I think I got all of the questions. And I really hope, I'm just scrolling up. Sorry to be sidetracked. I just don't want to miss anybody. I searched the book electronically and could not find that. Oh, hold on. No, go to Kindle. Buy the Kindle version. That's what I do. If you have a Kindle app on your phone, buy the Kindle version of the Medical Medium books. I have thyroid healing and I think the celery juice one. I feel like there's one more with the... No, Cleanse to Heal. I have the hard copy of that. Yeah, no, I think all of them are on the Kindle version. Oh, someone just said, I use cashew cream with everything. Yes. Before I had Jackson, I was making cashew cream and putting in everything. I think I even did a Zoom on it, right? And I can't wait to get back to that, just to find the time to make that cashew cream again. That was so good. And that's how I got in trouble, though, because I would buy the cashews. So I have to buy the cashews, bring them home, and soak them right away, right? Because soaked cashews are super gross until you mix them up and add the maple syrup to it. What was I going to say? Peanuts, yes, mixed with fruit. Yeah, when you mix the peanut with the nuts with fruit, it is much better. Okay. Oh, Stephanie said that. Of course, Stephanie said that. She said she cashew cream with everything. Yeah, cashew cream is amazing. I'm telling you, if you want to do that elimination diet and you want some guidelines on how to do it and what to do, and someone to like hold your hand, walk you through it, please reach out to Stephanie. She has a ton of great information, and she has a program and a group who all does the elimination diet together. So utilize your resources. I always say to my kids, like, there's always a way, and there's always a resource out there. Utilize your resources. There are so many people who have healed themselves who now want to help other people. And that's part of my program. I don't take it on. I don't accept you into my program until you promise that when you get healed, you will pass along the information. I don't care if you send them to me. I don't care if you just talk to them and say, yes, it's possible, but please let people know that it's possible. Because think about before you came across this information, think about the darkness that you were in, thinking, I'm going to have to live like this for the rest of my life because, the neurologist says there's nothing I can do about it, right? I'm just going to continue to get worse. No, you're not. You could absolutely heal. And think about how good that felt when you finally knew it's a virus. I can heal from a virus. So please do that for other people. Vinitha. Oh, hey, Vinitha. How are you? Hey, Janine. Yes, we talked last Monday for the consultation. Loved your insight, and I finally feel that healing is just a few months away. Exactly. Now, I just want to put like a disclaimer out there, because I've told you I've been getting a lot of consultations, and they go, okay, great, so I'm going to be healed. Vinitha didn't say this, somebody else did, but she just reminded me. I don't promise that you're going to be healed in 4 months. Some people do, but a lot of people don't. Think about how long it took you to get sick. What I do promise is in that 4 months, you will learn all of the tools that you need to heal your body, and you will experience the shift. The shift usually happens at about 8 weeks. And I just said to the group a couple weeks ago, the current group, I said to them, I'm like, guys, go back and watch the early videos when we first started working together. You will see such a difference in how you guys look. Everyone starts to come to life. So you will feel the shift. It's funny too, because they get their hair done. We all got our hair done at the same time, actually. I got mine highlighted, and people just start coming back to life. And it usually takes about 8 weeks. At that point, once you feel that shift, you go, oh my God, this is possible. I see the difference. I see now the difference between, okay, I'm not getting worse. I'm detoxing. Now I got to take a break. Okay, now it's time to start again. Okay, now I got to add the heavy metal detox smoothie. We do all of these changes over a 4-month period so that it's not overwhelming. We just naturally add to our lives while we're having conversation, while we're laughing. Sometimes we don't talk about health stuff at all. I think there was a conversation recently where things were vibrating. We just have a really good time. But I want you to understand that when the program opens in October, don't be signing up going, I'm going to be healed in 4 months. You might be, but that's not the norm, right? That's not the norm. But you will have all the tools that you need to keep going and heal your body. You will have everything that you need to heal your body. So the reason why I called it Paths to Healing is because this is what I visualized when I was laying in the bed. I was in a forest. I felt like I was in a forest. And I kept making a right, and then, oh, this isn't right, and then make a left. Oh, this isn't right. Let me go over here. Oh, let me go over. Oh, let me try this. I felt like I was all over the place. I was in the dark, and I didn't know where the end of the forest was. So I feel like what this program does, the 4 months, it clears that path. So now you're standing here, you're looking forward, you see a clear path of where you need to go, and you see the light, you see the healing. It's right there. How long it takes you to get from here to that light, I can't tell you. I have no idea. Everyone is different, and I won't give you a timeline because I don't want to set you up I won't give you a timeline because I don't want to set you up for disappointment, and plus it could be sooner than what I say. I never give timelines, but I can promise you, you will see that light, and you will be able to get there, and I'll give you the energy to be able to get there. How long it takes you, 4 weeks, 4 months, a year, 2 years, I don't know. But I can tell you, you have all the tools that you need to get there. You'll know exactly what to do, and you just keep doing it, and then you just keep healing. So, all right, with that being said, let me see. Lindsay, I read it just a few days ago in the original book. I think wait, Stephanie's talking to, I just read it a few days ago in the original book. I think Patty is talking to Stephanie, so that's not a question for me, right? Okay. Mary Jean, I'm new to this medical medium, and my first 2 books that I bought was Celery Juice and The Cleanse to Heal. Is that okay? Oh my God, they're all okay. I have all of them. They're all okay. They all have so much information in them. It's all great information. I feel like you should get, though, the original. I have 2 versions right here, and they both pretty much look the same, but one was released in 2015, this little one, and then it has the revised and the expanded one. So see, they look exactly the same, but this one was just released this year. Last year? I don't know. Very soon. So these books touch upon all the information. Excuse me. All of the information. And then I feel like he released his other books to expand upon a certain thing. Hold on, I was talking too much. So in this book, he'll talk about cleanses and why they're so important to do. And then later on, he released Cleanse to Heal with all of the cleanses, exactly how to do it. The liver rescue, that's the one that I couldn't think of before, liver rescue. So in here, he talks about the importance of cleaning out the liver, right? So you do that in the Cleanse to Heal book, but then in Liver Rescue, he goes over the 9-day cleanse and all the other cleanses that you can do. So a lot of the information is not only repeated, but the other books after this one, they expand upon what he talks about. So what I did is I just read all of the books, and I just kept reading them over and over and over again, and just like taking notes. And that's actually how I came up with my program. So of course I sprinkled in my 10 years of experience and things that worked for me, but the information, the celery juice and the targeted attack on the Epstein-Barr virus, it's all medical medium information. So he's got lives now. If you don't want to read the books, he's got lives that he talks incessantly. And I hate to say a bad thing about the man because I'm so grateful to him. But man, he's annoying to listen to. I hope he never sees that. So, but I am very, very grateful for his information. But yeah, so there's a lot of different ways that you can get his information without reading the book. There's podcasts, and he also does lives on a bunch of different social media avenues. I only know at Facebook, but he always mentions a couple other ones. So all medical medium information, and this is all the information that took me from 60% healed to absolutely 100% healed. I even had a baby and didn't have an exacerbation. And yes, that was in the back of my mind, wondering if 5 months ago I was like, oh my God, well, this is the test. Let's see. Here I am telling everyone that I'm healed. So let's see what happens. It's really scary because everyone knows right after a baby, you have that exacerbation. And I didn't have it. So yeah, 100% healed. His information is amazing. And that's what my protocol was designed around. I cannot believe it's 6:03 already. That was it goes by so fast. Let me see. Talking about inflammatory food. Do you think white rice is inflammatory? Yeah, unfortunately, Vinitha, white rice is inflammatory. Not only is it inflammatory, but it has really high levels of heavy metals because of how it's grown. Do yourself a favor. Go with organic brown rice. Don't do it very often. Maybe do it once a week. I still have rice in my diet. White rice, yeah, sometimes when I go out to a restaurant and there's nothing else that I can order off the menu but sushi, I'll get the sushi. And they don't have the brown rice option, and I'll get the white rice. It is gluten-free. It's highly inflammatory. It doesn't have a lot of nutritional value to it, but you know what? It's not going to feed the virus. So go ahead and eat it. Just don't eat it too often. And if you want to eat it more often, maybe like twice a week, go with the brown rice. Go with the brown rice. My daughter loves rice. We actually have a rice cooker because I suck at cooking it. Apparently, you got to rinse it. I didn't know that. And rinse your quinoa too. I didn't know that. You can cook. It cooks up so much nicer when you rinse the grains before you cook them. All right. I think I talked about everything. Next week, we're talking on the Live at 5, we're going to be talking to Catherine, I think. Today's the 10th. So the 17th, we're talking with Catherine. She's the vibrational healer that is part of the Path to Healing 4-month program. In that 4 months, you get everything. You get the body, the mind, and the soul, because I honestly believe that you cannot heal something without addressing all of those levels, the body, the mind, and the soul. I got you on the body. I can give you all the nutritional information that you need. I'll set you up with systems and hacks and all these foods, these comfort foods, but you also need to clear the programs that have been keeping you stuck, or are maybe keeping you stuck. All the things that we got programmed from, maybe this lifetime, maybe it was childhood, but we all have things, right? These programs that are running subconsciously. We got to work on those. We got to clear them out so that healing can come up. One of my things was healing is hard. That was my program, healing is hard. And healing isn't hard. And that was running in my subconscious for years. Healing is hard. And as soon as I worked with Catherine and got that out of there, the healing was able to come up. And I'm like, it's really not that hard. Let me teach people how to do it. But you need that. And that's why I don't know how people heal without addressing the body, the mind, and the soul, the whole thing. So with the mind, we have Matt Rowe. He's in the group every other week. He's the mindset coach. So in the program, you get all the facets. So the mind, the body, the mind, and the soul. So next week, I like to introduce Catherine at least once a month in this group, so you get to know her, so you feel comfortable with her. This way, if you sign up for the 4-month coaching, great. If you don't, you could always go to Catherine and be like, all right, what the hell do you do? What is this? Maybe, you want to piecemeal it all together and do it yourself. This way, you have all of the resources here so that you can do that. Okay, now I'm done. I think I talked about everything. Pizza, pasta, ice cream. Yeah, pasta. Like, I didn't mention pasta, but everyone knows. Find a good pasta. They make them out there. It's trial and error. Barilla makes a really good pasta that used to be just corn. And a lot of people are like, no, it inflames the shit out of me. I need something else. They make a red lentil or a chickpea pasta that actually tastes like pasta. It's got the chew to it. It's not mushy. So Barilla, pasta, red lentil, or chickpea. I wanted to mention that. That's really important. Any other questions? You can either put them in here. Basmati. Yes, I heard basmati is better too, right? The rice, that whole grain. Basmati is much better. Arden, you're so welcome. Thank you. Thank you for being here. It's so much nicer talking to people. This is why I don't record them. I don't want to record them. I want to talk to you. I want to ask you actual questions. I want you to ask actual questions. I want to be able to answer what you need. I don't want to, anticipate what I think you need. I'm stalling to get off because I feel like there was something else, but I guess there isn't. If there is, I'll just post it in the group. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this helped. I hope you learned a little something, maybe to add another little piece to your puzzle and get you closer to healing, because please remember, if you take one thing away from this, healing is absolutely possible. And it's not that hard once you know a couple things. You do have choices. You could absolutely get your life back, okay? Understand that healing is closer than you think. All right. You have a great night, everybody, and I will see you soon, and I'll see you in the group.